Happy Thanksgiving! It is Thanksgiving Day, and honestly, I figured I'd talk about gratitude today because it's Thanksgiving. I had to stick with the theme. So, something that I heard before, and something that I've also said before, is that you cannot be grateful and angry at the same time. And I think that's so important and such a great thing to talk about, like I said today, because it's Thanksgiving. A lot of times we forget to be grateful for like the little things that we have because they seem like little things, but in reality, we're pretty freaking blessed. I mean, first of all, you're watching YouTube or you're listening to a podcast currently if you're listening or watching this right now, which means you have access to the internet, and not a lot of people do. Around the world, not a lot of people have access to the internet. Not everyone around the world has YouTube. Not everyone around the world has Spotify or Apple Podcasts. And I'm not saying that because, you're listening to me, but just in a general sense, like if you're listening to this, you already have so much to be grateful for because you have access to something that a lot of people don't. And my guess is that you're watching this somewhere comfortable or you're listening to this somewhere cozy. Whatever the case may be, you have things to be grateful for. Every morning I state my gratitudes, and sometimes I'm talking for a long time and sometimes I'm like, okay, we're just gonna stick to 3 things today or 4 things or just like a small number of things because I can seriously just sit there and point at everything in my home, everything within myself and everything around me like to be grateful for. But I always make it a point to be grateful for something or to state my gratitude for something that is so incredibly basic, like the breath in my lungs. Like there's some people out there who need assistance to breathe. There's other people who also didn't get to wake up today, unfortunately. So being able to even state and speak that I'm grateful for the breath in my lungs, that's a lot to be grateful for. And I really started to hone in on this kind of, like this in-depth amount of gratitude at my previous home. I know my last video I said how we moved and I talked about all the behind the scenes of why it meant so much and how much we prayed and like the manifesting and talking about our goals and plans and whatnot. But I want to just kind of jump back to the point where I had said before where there was a point where we were just so frustrated with where we were living and because of how tiny it was. It was so easy to be frustrated at the small amount of space. And I just got tired of being tired, I got tired of how frustrated I was, and I heard the phrase on this day that I was just like, man, I'm just really, really frustrated. And of course, you always hear what you need to hear at the time that you need to hear it. And it was, you cannot be grateful and angry at the same time. I was like, okay, maybe that's true. And I started to realize like, okay, all the things that I was frustrated about. And I was like, wait a second. I have a roof over my head. I have food on the table. I have a bed. I have a closet with clothes in it. I have a desk, which also has my laptop, my boyfriend's laptop, the computer. We have our cameras for, YouTube, and he also does YouTube as well. Honest to God, a lot of it is non-essential. So we have like all this extra stuff plus all the essentials. We just didn't have space. Again, like so many things to be grateful for. And again, just simply the breath in my lungs. I have a Peloton, that was the other thing. Like, what? Anyway, so these are things that I looked around the room, and instead of looking at it and being like, oh, this is so small and I'm so done and frustrated, I was like, wait a second, what can I actually be grateful here for? It was just so much, and I actually got overwhelmed and I was crying because I was like, wow, I was so frustrated, yet I have all these things that are, a lot of people don't have that I'm just really, really blessed to actually have. And again, even just a roof over my head and the breath in my lungs and clothes on my back and just, yeah. So you cannot be grateful and angry at the same time, and again, it's so true. Try it. Try to think of something that you're grateful for, and then also be frustrated at the same exact time. You can switch back and forth between grateful and angry about it, or angry and then grateful, and switch back and forth between the two, but you cannot be both at the same time. And I find it takes out so much less energy to be grateful, and it makes me happier. It's a happy emotion, and it's a happy feeling to just be grateful. So in everything that you're doing today and every day, just find things to be grateful for. Coming into this new apartment, we're on the second floor, and there's a tree right outside the window right here. And I love it because the squirrels, we get to see the squirrels like running around. And like, that's something that seems like it is really simple. But I'm so grateful for it because I think they're so cute, and like I love meditating outside. And so before I was meditating outside in the grass, and I would like sit in the grass and like try to be really still. Maybe a squirrel would come over. That never happened. But now they're literally right outside of our window, and like we have an apple sitting outside on the windowsill because we're trying to make friends with the squirrel. That's just something that's like super, super basic that I'm super, super grateful for. Also, side note, because distractions and because animals, there was these 3 chipmunks that lived under the trailer that we were at, and I named them. I called them little I'm pretty sure they were a family, but I named them Hank, Regina, and Mally, and I hope they're doing well. Getting back on topic, Thanksgiving is not just about gratitude and being grateful and thankful. It's also about giving. Thanksgiving. Give. If you have extra food and you see somebody who might be in need, or you have a friend, I know right now it's, COVID season, but if you know somebody who might be struggling, bring them a plate of food. Bring them few plates of food if they have a family. Like give food to people. If you are blessed enough to have Thanksgiving dinner, whether that be with just the people that are in your home right now due to, it's 2020, COVID, whatnot. If it's just with these people and you have a whole Thanksgiving feast, I'm pretty sure you're gonna have plenty of leftover food to give to others. And if you do have some people, if you do have the chance to have some people over, do so. And share your food, share your warmth, just give. And getting into the colder seasons, give people your old coats and sweatpants and sweatshirts, people who need it, homeless people, things that are necessities, things to keep them warm, blankets, pillows, anything clothing or food related, or essentials like toothbrushes, anything, just give. So Thanksgiving is about being grateful and also giving. If you think that you don't have anything to give, I guarantee you, rummage through your cabinets, through your closet, through your drawers, look under the bed, look through your house and your car, wherever. I'm sure you have a lot of excess of something. Or some things that you don't use or that you don't wear, that you don't want anymore, that you're just holding on to for no reason. Also, giving someone a smile and a hello can mean so much more than what you realize. Just acknowledging someone's existence. There are a lot of homeless people, unfortunately, and they get ignored and they get walked past, and people just pretend like they don't exist and walk past them. If you even simply smiling at them and just being like, hey, I see you, how are you? Acknowledging their existence. If you feel like you have nothing to give, you have a smile. You can smile. You can say hello. Be grateful. There's no point in giving all that negative energy to being angry and to being ungrateful and to being miserable when you could simply just be grateful. Because again, there's so much to be grateful for. Literally, you exist. That in itself is freaking incredible. There's a 1 in 1 million chance that you'd be here. And I think it's pretty awesome that you're here. And there's a reason for it. Whatever that reason is, there is. So find 20 things to be grateful for today. Find something, some way to give to somebody else today. And that's all I got for you. I hope that you guys have an incredible Thanksgiving. Thank you so much for hopping on, for listening, for tuning in. And I hope that you remember that no matter what's going on in your life, you are always growing, you're always glowing, and you are loved so, so much. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next Thursday.